The Tale of Gotthold Ephraim Lessing, From Obscurity to Illumination. Greetings, legends. Imagine, if you will, the grand stage of history. Amidst the swirling mists of time and the echoing footsteps of countless souls, there exist those rare spirits whose brilliance refuses to be dimmed. They burn with an intensity that pierces the veils of obscurity, casting a light that beckons us closer. As we delve into the Chronicles of Legends, a silhouette emerges from the depths, compelling, mysterious, and undeniably luminous. Who might this be, you ask? Prepare to be enraptured by the tale of Gotthold Ephraim Lessing, a legend whose legacy weaves a spellbinding tale amidst the annals of time. Who was Gotthold Ephraim Lessing? In the quiet town of Kamenz, Saxony, a cry broke the stillness as winter's grip began to wane on January 22, 1729. A child was born into the household of a devout pastor, heralding the dawn of a life destined to etch its mark upon the annals of history. This boy, christened Gotthold Ephraim Lessing, was to grow beneath the watchful eyes of the church's spires and amidst the echoing chants of hymns. The Europe of Lessing's youth was not one of quiet contemplation. It was an era in flux, where old norms were being questioned and new ideas were clawing their way to the surface. The Age of Enlightenment was not just a period, it was a revolution, kindling minds and setting the very soul of the continent aflame with a hunger for knowledge, freedom, and truth. Amidst this backdrop of philosophical ferment and societal upheaval, young Lessing was not to be left behind. The flames that swept Europe found a kindred spark within him, igniting a passion that would lead him on a relentless quest for enlightenment. As the years unfolded, the boy from Kamenz underwent a metamorphosis. From the shadows of his father's church, he emerged not just as a scholar, but as a beacon of enlightenment. His writings transcended the boundaries of mere words. They became vessels of ideas, challenging norms, and reshaping the landscapes of literature, philosophy, theology, and criticism. The modest pastor's son had not merely grown, he had ascended, joining the pantheon of literary titans, an embodiment of Europe's transformative age. Gotthold Ephraim Lessing's life story stands out in history, where numerous individuals fade away into oblivion as his thread shines brightly, showcasing his unwavering passion and purpose throughout his life. Journey to the heart of Lessing's legacy, the tale of Nathan der Weise. In a secluded corner of an ancient library, where whispers of the past rustle the air, one might stumble upon a collection of worn, leather-bound tomes. These books, infused with the scent of time and touched by countless reverent hands, bear the mark of one extraordinary mind, Gotthold Ephraim Lessing. As the pages turn, one title glistens with a particular intensity: Nathan der Weise. A name that, over the years, has reverberated in the chambers of literary discourse, often in conjunction with revered documentals like Gotthold Ephraim Lessing, Nathan der Weise, 1967. This isn't just a title, nor merely a play. It's a window into Lessing's soul. Imagine for a moment the bustling streets of Jerusalem during the Third Crusade. The air is thick with tension, with the shadows of war and the murmurs of discord. Yet, amidst this tumult emerges a voice of reason, a tale of unity, the story of Nathan, a sagacious Jewish merchant. His now celebrated parable of the three rings is not just a captivating story, but a clarion call for religious harmony. Through Nathan's words, Lessing masterfully paints a world where Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are intertwined, bound by shared virtues and values. But let's not remain ensnared only by the beauty of Nathan der Weise. As our journey through Lessing's literary landscape continues, we encounter other gems. The philosophical depths of Laocoön, the tragic beauty of Miss Sara Sampson, and the poignant narrative of Emilia Galotti. Like stars in the vast expanse of the night sky, each of these works adds to the constellation that is Lessing's legacy, illuminating the world of literature with their brilliance. Within the labyrinth of Lessing's mind, a beacon of enlightenment. In a world shrouded in shadows, where the weight of tradition and the chains of dogma held many captive, a lone figure emerged, holding aloft a lantern of enlightenment. This was Gotthold Ephraim Lessing, and his light was his philosophy. One could imagine, on a silent night, Lessing pondering over his manuscript, quill poised and thoughts flowing like a river. Suddenly, with a surge of emotion, he penned down, "The most deadly poison of our times is indifference." This was not merely an observation, but a rallying cry, a declaration of war against apathy and unexamined lives. Lessing's era was one where the iron grip of religious orthodoxy often determined the rhythm of life, delineating the boundaries of thought. Yet, in this constraining world, Lessing's spirit soared. He was a man intoxicated by the ideals of enlightenment. To him, freedom was not just a political right, but a mental emancipation. It was the right to think, to question, to doubt, and to arrive at one's own truths. His writings, infused with this fervor, became bastions of tolerance. Where others saw division, Lessing saw unity. Where others clung to outdated beliefs, Lessing embraced reason. He believed fervently in humanity's potential, in its inexorable march towards self-improvement. Through his words, he envisioned a world where the barriers of creed, dogma, and blind faith crumbled, replaced by bridges of understanding and shared human experience. As we reflect upon his teachings today, they stand not as relics of a bygone era, but as timeless reminders. In our world, where divisions often seem insurmountable, Lessing's voice echoes, urging us to look beyond, to seek truth, and to cherish our shared humanity. The Hamburg Chronicles, Lessing's dance with drama. Picture a dimly lit room, a soul candle flickering, casting shadows that danced upon aged parchments and scrolls. In the midst of this ethereal setting sat a man, his brow furrowed in deep thought, quill in hand, and the weight of a vision pressing upon his soul. This man, our dear Lessing, was about to challenge the very foundation of theater as his world knew it. In the heart of Hamburg, a new theatrical dawn was breaking. While the classical allure of French drama and amour the rest of Europe, Lessing dared to dream differently. Each stroke of his quill on the pages of the Hamburg Dramaturgy wasn't just ink meeting paper. It was a declaration, a blueprint for an emerging German theatrical identity. Through a series of insightful essays, Lessing meticulously chiseled away at the prevailing norms. He wasn't merely critiquing, he was sculpting, crafting the bedrock of what would become modern German theater. He sought to liberate German drama from the shadows of French classical narratives, breathing into it a unique essence, a spirit rooted in German ethos and cultural nuances. As the years unfurled, Lessing's vision began to take shape. Theaters in Hamburg and beyond started resonating with this newfound voice, a voice that was distinctly German, yet universally appealing. The murmurs of appreciation grew into rapturous applause, and soon, Lessing's revolutionary insights became the cornerstone upon which modern German theater was built. Today, as curtains rise in theaters across Germany, one can't help but feel the presence of Lessing, his legacy intertwined with every performance, his spirit alive in every act. The Hamburg Dramaturgy was not just a series of essays, it was the birth of a legend, the tale of a man who dared to rewrite the theatrical landscape, the sunset of a luminary. In the theater of life, there comes a moment when even the brightest stars must take their final bow. As the winter winds of 1781 whispered tales of epochs gone by, Gotthold Ephraim Lessing prepared for his own grand exit. On a somber day, February 15th, the curtains gently descended upon his worldly sojourn. The precise orchestration of this departure, the exact notes and nuances of his final moments, remain lost. like fragile whispers carried away by time's inexorable march. But in the silence that followed, the world began to realize the magnitude of its loss. The earth had not merely bid adieu to a writer, it mourned the passing of a seer, a sage who had dared to dream, to challenge, and to illuminate. His was not an ordinary life. It was a symphony of ideas, a dance of philosophies, a tapestry woven with threads of enlightenment. As days turned into years and years into centuries, Lessing's physical absence became more pronounced. But the void he left was filled with the echoes of his thoughts, the reverberations of his ideals, and the undying spirit of his words. While mortal coils may bind and release, true legends like Lessing remain, eternally etched in the annals of time, forever guiding those who seek the light. In the vast chronicles of history, there are moments when stories whisper to us, tales that tug at our very souls. Among the myriad voices, the philosophy of Lessing stands out, echoing with tales of tolerance, understanding, and enlightenment. So, we pose a question to you, dear seekers of legendary stories. Have you stumbled upon a narrative or met a soul that vibrates with the same frequency as Lessing's enduring wisdom? Share these tales with us, for in sharing, legends come alive. For those eager to dive deeper into the world of Gotthold Ephraim Lessing, check the resources linked in the description. From documentals like Gotthold Ephraim Lessing Documental to intricate analyses of his works, the journey into Lessing's universe is just beginning. Remember, legends never fade. They inspire, they guide, they live on.